So now that we've sewn the lining together and done the patch pocket and the slash zip pocket, we've sewn the zip pocket to the front and we've added the handle and the top of the clasp here for the top of the bag. We are going to just put that to the side and we're going to have a go at making the handles now. So the straps for the back. So there was the bit of wadding or fleece to cut out that was about 30 centimeters long, and our strap. So I'm using oilcloth, so I'm putting that wrong side up, and from the top edge I'm measuring 4 centimeters and just putting a mark. So if you've got a directional print, you want to do it from the top, and if I place that in the middle, you can fuse it if you want to, but I'm just going to lay mine there. And what we're doing is we're folding the fabric now around that bit of wadding there, just to give the strap a bit of padding. I've left 4 centimeters at the top because some's going to go into the seam, and then that first top bit isn't going to be on your shoulder. So then what we're going to do is flip it over to the front, and you're going to do a stitch down the center. You may want to do 2, and just make sure that you hold down this edge here, that you're not sort of over and it's not held down. If you're not using oilcloth and you don't really want to just have the raw end on show, what you can do is, as you fold it over, fold and turn under the raw edge as well, just to get a neat finish. But because mine's oilcloth, I'm just going to fold it over and leave that edge raw, and I'm now going to top stitch down the center of here. So I've sewn both of the straps now. As I said, I've folded in and I've stitched down, and I've done 2 lines just to hold it in place. They're going to get stitched to the top of the bottom part of the back of the rucksack. So this here is the top part of the back where I've attached the handle and the other part of the clasp to there, and it's easier to attach the straps here to the bottom part of the back of the rucksack. So they're going to get pinned on in a minute, but the other thing that we just need to do is now get ready for the adjustable straps here at the extra bit of the strap there. So what I've done is cut a piece here to 10 centimeters, and I am going to thread it up through the top of another one of the slider ladder buckles to here, and this is going to get sewn onto the bottom of the strap there. So having the strap the right way up, I'm going to just fold in. You can leave your edges raw because this is going to get sewn in the top seam, and this you're going to stitch over it anyway. So I've just folded it up into the center like this from the outside edge. You can see there, like this. And then what I'm going to do is position this on the top of it. Again, if you're using the polypropylene webbing, you just need to melt the edges so it doesn't fray. To save on bulk, instead of tucking down the edge of it and folding it over, which will be very thick for my machine, I've just laid it on top of that triangle I've created, and then I've pinned it here. With the other piece, what you're going to do is measure, if you have got enough, about a 30 centimeter length of this webbing that we've been measuring out, and that's going to come up under this bit here and back in here. So that can be added after you've stitched that down if you want to, and this is then going to get stitched into the side there. So once these are pinned in place like so and sewn, and you've threaded up the bottom part there, we are now going to attach them. So the bottom part of the back of the rucksack now, if you measure 7.5 centimeters in from the edge, I'll pin this to match up with the edge there. So 7.5 centimeters, 7.5 centimeters. Then with the straps at the bottom, so this one here is, I've threaded it through and up as I just showed. You could keep them separate if you want to till you've sewn it, if that's easier. So I've got that bit attached to here and this bit just attached to here. If you want to do that instead, we're going to then put the bottom part of the straps 2 centimeters up from the raw edge at the bottom of the bag, so another 2 centimeters up there. So now we've got those sewn here and here close to the edge, and then those sewn here and here just to hold them in place. So I've sewn here and I've sewn these ends in here, like this. So that's all in place. You can thread that up when the whole bag's made. Now, the last bit to do for the back of the bag before we start constructing it to the sides and front, is to get the top part of the back now. And you're putting it right sides down on the top edge there. So this is actually where we've attached the handle in that strap. It's actually the middle of the bag. If you look here, the top's actually got nothing on it because this bit comes round and this is the bit that rolls down. So we are putting this right side down on there. So it's going to be a little bit bulky to sew over. The handle there just overlaps slightly onto the handles there. So I'm going to attach that and I'm going to do a centimetre seam allowance all the way across the top edge. You might want to sew it twice to make it extra strong. Right, so I've sewn across here on the sewing machine. So now when I flap it out, we've got our strap that will come down this way, the handle that will hold at the top of the bag, and all the handles here held in place. I've just re-threaded those back through the ladder sliders just to help really keep it out the way, because the next job is to sew the outer side panels and base. So this is now, this should be the same size as the front of the outer rucksack, which is this bit here. So if it's not, you can just trim down slightly, whichever is the longest, but that should be about the right, should be the same size. So once the lining is in now and we've sewn it all, this is how it's going to work here. So this will roll round to the front and then the front will snap in here, and that will be the top there. So you can see, because it has a directional print to a degree on the back of this Orla-Keeley fabric, I did it so it's upside down on the back, but then when it rolls and comes round onto the front of the bag, it's going to be going the same way as the bottom part of the bag there.